Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another Breakfast Club. I hope everyone's doing good. It's Friday, so I hope you're feeling cheery for the weekend. So it's been a good week of sessions. Been doing a lot of different tricks, from ground skills to balances to actual freestyle moves like around the world, which can be tricky. But we're going to get ourselves warmed up, and I've got some newer tricks to show you in today's session. So with your ball, get into your space, guys. We're just going to recap. If you want to quickly stretch out, you can do. Just get your body moving. I'm going to start to do some taps on the ball just to get my body moving. So sole of your feet just on top of the ball. You can maybe move forwards. You can move backwards. Just get your body moving. And now we'll go to sides, inside to inside. Tiny little taps on the ball. In a second, I'm going to number code these skills, and then you've got to react to them, and you're going to do 10 repetitions. So the 4 skills are going to be taps on top of the ball. Number 2 will be side to sides. Number 3 will be side to side with the sole. And number 4 will be step overs to the outside like this. So if I say number 1, you're going to do 10 really fast taps on the ball. Here's a warm-up, so you can go slow if you want to, but you can challenge yourself by adding a bit of speed in there if you want to. Number 2 was side to sides, so you'll do 10 side to sides. Number 3, can you remember? Side to side with the sole. Remember to get up on your toes, nice and wide with it. And if I say number 4, you're going to do step overs to the outside. But remember, we're going to try and get a little bounce in there to up our speed, okay? So just one more recap as a bit of a warm-up, then we're going to up the speed. So number 1, so you'll do 10 taps on top. If I say 2, we're going to go 4, 5, 6, 7, side to side. If I say number 3, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 10 with the side to side with the sole. And number 4 was step overs. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so jogging behind the ball, react to the number that I tell you. So number 2. Okay, number 1. Okay, number 4. Keep going, guys. Number 3. Okay, jog it out. Move your body, get your arms moving. Get yourself ready for the day. Okay, let's do a few more. So, number 1. Top of the ball, fast as you can. When you've done it, just let the ball go. Remember, 10 touches, full speed if you can, and then keep moving behind the ball. Number 2, inside, guys, inside. And when you've done 10, just let it go. But don't stop moving. Keep that body on your toes. Number 4, step overs to the outside, up on your toes. Once you've done 10, back behind the ball. Number 3, nice and wide. Once you've done 10, let it go. Last few, guys. Number 1, top of the ball toe taps. Head up if you can. Keep moving, keep moving. Well done. A little break. Last couple. Number 4. Step overs to the outside. Once you've got your 10 in. Okay, number 2. Inside to inside. Nice and fast. Awesome, guys. Hold it there. So we're going to dive straight into a bit of freestyle now. So we've done the around the world. We've done the skill where you go to the side like this. Just to recap, on our around the world looks like that. And if you missed that session, you can go back to one of the previous sessions to see key tips on how to master that skill. It's all about technique. But today we're going to do what's called a blocking routine. So a block is where you see the ball stop like this. You could even stop there, stop there, stop there, bounce down, stop. So all these moves take practice, and I can do them quite well because I have practiced, but there's some very simple ones that we can all do today and start to get a bit of a flow. And actually these things will start to link up, so you'll almost have a bit of a routine after this session. So the first one we're going to do, guys, is just bounce the ball and catch in the knees. Just like that. So you want to get used to the ball bouncing. So don't do this, because that'll probably come up in your face and hurt you. You want to avoid that. You want to just drop it from your hands, step forward, and then try and grab it between your knees. Now from here, a cool thing to do is just to let gravity do what it does and let things drop to the ground like that. So first step was in the knees. The second step, what you're going to do is lift one leg up and let the ball go. And then you're going to grab it as it hits the ground. So a bit of timing involved, but it looks really cool when you put it together, because it's like knee, down, and then from here we've already done a couple of skills. You can maybe jump back up like that, you can jump to the side. I'll leave that to you, but I want you to focus on the knee, drop down, catch in the ankles. So knees, down, and then back up again. So just be mindful about where you're dropping the ball. Make sure it's directly in front of you. And then as you step forward, you also want to avoid jumping as well. A lot of players, they'll kind of jump into the ball, and that will probably end up with the ball moving away. And if you land on the ball, you might fall. So just be careful of that. Keep your feet stuck to the ground. So you're here, catch, down. I'm going to throw in a little fancy one, but you can do anything from there. I'll show you some more in a second from that position, but like I say, focus on the knee just for a couple of minutes. So bounce, knees, down. Throw in a few kick-ups if you like. So knee down, drop, nice and powerful, get that ball up into the air. If you fancy progression, you can go from a kick. So rather than go straight from your hands, you can kick it, bounce it, and then catch it. If you fancy a real challenge, you can actually go directly into that from your kick-ups. So here, straight in, no bounces, and then into the routine. So like I say, start with the bounce, get yourself used to the skill, and then maybe take it away. You could even throw it actually without a bounce. So that's actually quite tough because the ball's coming from quite high. So you throw it up and then catch it. Well, it's not coming from that high, is it? But it's a strange sort of trajectory for the ball to come down and then catch it. So that could be a challenge in its own right. As it comes down, just about got it, I'm on form. And then from there, down and up. Now, just to mix things up, guys, now we've covered our around the world technique. Now you can actually do around the world from this knee balance or knee grab. And the way you do that is, so you hold it in, place it in with your hands. And what I want you to do is let the ball go like this. So roll it up. But as you roll it, I want you to pass your foot around it, let it bounce, and then kick it again. So that'll look like this. Just like that. So ball in the knee. Remember, easier to go, it's probably impossible to go that way because you need to go like that. So go to the outside first and then in. So like this and let it go. And what that does is get us used to doing this skill here. So it's basically an around the world from that block, from that grab into the knee there. But remember, use the bounce just to get used to it. So let it go, up, catch. Let it go, up, and then catch like that. You don't have to do that variation. It's just something that you can try if it's easy to you to grab it in there. So we'll do a bit more practice on this one. Remember timing between the two, and then pop it up. So just a reminder, I think the two ways of getting out of this, you've seen me do them just now, is a straight up jump, like that, and there's a jump to the side, a little bit like a rainbow flick. So you're here, and all you're going to do is kick to the side. So without the ball, it's just that kind of movement. So you'll be here, jump to the side, and then catch the ball in your hands, and then you can go into your kick-ups. So again, if you're getting used to linking those skills together, maybe try a flick up at the end. Now, if you wanted to see that quick advance one now, what that was a 180 spin, and it can be quite confusing, but I don't think it's that hard once you understand it. And what you do is, it's like a dance move. So the ball will be here, and what you do is you flick, and then you spin, and then the ball is on the other side. So it's all about how you flick the ball with this one. So as you flick, you spin. It's kind of like the around the world. It all happens together. So you're here. Maybe I always exaggerate it just to get a bit more power, and then in there. So give it a go, guys. There's no pressure. That's quite a difficult skill, I'd say. I would only do it once you've mastered the jump to the side and also the jump forward. So you're in this position, spin, and then back up from there. So just to reflect on that, we're catching, we're going down, and then we're flicking out from there. So we're going to do another block skill now, and this again relates all back in terms of being a block, a grab, and then a flick. But this time we're going to catch the ball in this position, like that. But the way we do it, obviously, we use our hands, but this requires balance. So when I was learning a lot of my balance skills, I'd sometimes use a wall, goalpost, even a teammate if I had someone to help me, but just focus on getting the balance in that position, like that, which can be quite tricky. So take your time. So hold the ball there, and you'll notice you might be hopping on this back leg, you might be moving, you might be dropping the ball, you might be falling over. Don't worry, it happens to me all the time. Just be patient and just enjoy it. Like, you're working your feet out and you're balancing, you're improving your coordination. So think of it as that. So grab the ball here, hold it, and see how long you can balance it for. You can even try the opposite side as well. See how it feels. It might be a bit different. And then what you're going to do from here, guys, I've got two skills. The first one is very similar to what we did before, in that we're dropping it down. And the second one is pretty cool. It's quite a flashy skill. So we'll do the first one first. So here, and then drop. So exactly what we did here. Remember, gravity does the work. All you need to do is lift one leg up, and it'll go down. Same thing here. But I'd say it's easier because all you're doing is putting your leg straight, and the ball ends up down there. And of course, from there, you can just like flick it back up again. Dead easy. So ball your hands, steady yourself. Maybe use your hands for balance, so it always helps. And then drop down, and then the jump to finish. That's a pretty challenging move. Obviously, on the front of that, you can maybe do a throw to the catch rather than place it in. Or you could even, like I demonstrated just before, you can do kick-ups, or just do one kick-up, catch into the side like that. Just like that. That takes practice, guys, so don't worry if you can't get it straight away. Now, the second skill, I think you'll like this one, it's quite flashy. You're going to pop from underneath. So the ball is here, and you're going to pop from underneath. And what I'm doing there is, from this position, all I'm doing is switching like that. And it's the heel, the end of the heel, the edge of the heel here that comes through like that and then pops it up. So just take your time with it, because the ball might go anywhere until you get used to it. But just focus on the switch. You can even do it without a ball if you want to, just to get used to that. So this position, that position. So it's just kind of like a weird dance thing going on. But we want to put the ball in there eventually. So we're in this position, and then we kick through. So it's kind of like a crossover move like that, but it's from here. That's why it looks really cool, because it's really sort of energetic and flashy. So it's worth learning. It's a good skill. So here, pop through, and then catch. Okay. If you're struggling, guys, don't worry. You can stick to the basic bounce, the pop down, but it's just a nice little addition. So here, and then we're free like that. If you want to take things to the next level, you can actually do it into and around the world with a bounce. So what you would do with that one is have the ball here and then just let it go around, kick, and then catch. So what I'm doing there is similar to our knee, where we passed our foot around. We're in this position, but this time I'm going to the outside, letting the ball drop, kicking it and catching it. So what that can end up being is and around the world like that from this position. But remember, always add the bounce first until you've mastered it. So you're in this position, you're going to go up and around, kick, and then catch like that. So again, we're in this position. Make sure you're steady first, using all them muscles in your back leg here. Bit of a workout for you. And then go around, let it drop, and then catch into your hands. I'll do that advanced one quickly as well. So here, straight over, kick and then catch. So it's here and around. Again, you can actually practice these things without a ball. It sometimes helps just, get the orientation right, because when you start to do things like around the world, it can be confusing until you master it, but it's worth mastering, like I say. Does take time though. So just a real quick recap, guys. We've got the knee, we go down, go back up from here. So that was our knee routine. Then we've got our grab to the side, which is from this position. We've got the fancy version, but we've also got the drop down as well. Back up from there. And then that final one was our around the world one, where we're going from there. Okay, guys, so I am going to do one more skill that's going to be a bit of homework, because it's weekend. And you might get a bit of time to maybe go out in the garden and practice. So one of my favorite areas of freestyle is ways to get the ball in the air, because they're quite easy to practice, because you don't need the ball to be in motion. The ball can just sit on the floor and then you approach it. Anyone can do that, but there's so many ways of doing it. So for example, we've done flick ups like this. We've done flick ups like this. But this next one, it actually uses the bounce. So I'm going to show it you dead quick, and then I'm going to break it down for you into like steps that you can follow, and then maybe at a later date you can come back, watch it through, and then practice it and master it yourself. So this is a skill. I'll show you again. Okay. You might actually be able to do it, and you might be able to work it out like quite easily. But basically what's happening is one foot, I always demonstrate with my hands, because it's quite an easy way of showing the physics behind it, really. So what happens is you have 1 foot below and you have 1 foot above. And as this foot lifts, the bottom foot, the top foot comes down like that. And that's where the bounce comes from. Now, a lot of players get confused with this move here, because it is a little bit similar because we're using both feet. But a good kind of hack, should I say, to get this move like learned really fast is to literally do it without a ball, right? So you'll have one foot here, one foot above the other foot as if the ball's there. And then all you're going to do is switch them over. Because when you put the ball in, that's actually all you're doing. So one foot here, remember toes would be directly behind the ball. One foot above it, and then switch. And I'd say the only difference between that and then doing it with the ball is maybe leaning back ever so slightly. So as you lean back, let it go, the ball pops up. So you'll notice not much of a difference when I put the ball in now. If I almost like trick myself into doing that switch move, which I think everyone can do, you'll have the move pretty much straight away. So it's here, and almost forget about the ball, forget that it's there, just do that actual switch move. So sometimes it's quite helpful to maybe do like a few like this. Remember, always be straight with your body. You might look a bit weird doing this, by the way. It does look a bit weird, doesn't it, just doing that without a ball. But trust me, it works. And then you're going to go to the ball, and then you're going to go and do that. So remember, foot behind the ball. The second foot hovers above it. Remember, not to the side this way, not to the side this way. So it's like directly above it, because it's the sole of your foot that hits the ball down. Same part that when we did our taps when we were warming up, okay? So I'll do a couple more before I go. So one here, and then switch it down like that. So again, just a pointer on like not rushing it, because sometimes you can rush it and then go into it and it doesn't work. So I would sort of stop yourself from rushing by holding that position, right? So you can see where your foot is. Your foot needs to be like straight above the ball. And once you feel it is straight above the ball, you can just do that switch motion there. So guys, get out, give that one a practice. It's a fun one to do. And yeah, by all means, jump in on the comments if you've watched this video. We've got more sessions next week, 5 more sessions, packed full of tricks and skills, freestyle skills. I'll be doing more ground skills for more gameplay situations. So make sure you join me next week and have a fantastic weekend. Enjoy yourself. And if you've got 5 minutes, work on that skill and then let me know how you get on. Have a good one, guys. Thank you.